Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a quick version, and this is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe to the channel and share this channel with your community. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a quick version, so if you prefer the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, check out my Patreon page and my Paint with Lovejoy website. If you want to further support Paint with Lovejoy, please do. It all helps. And for more in-depth courses, check out paintwithlovejoy.com. And as always, share this with your community. All right, guys, this is a fun painting. This is the time-lapsed version. If you want the full version, please check out my Patreon page or the Paint with Lovejoy website. So you do want to grab your supplies, transfer your traceable to your surface, and we're going to be starting in the background, and you have full permission to switch out and paint this your favorite color. So I just demonstrated a few different brush strokes to try the full width, the sideways version, or making X marks. And we're going to be filling up that background with the light teal or a medium teal, and that's about equal parts teal and white. And then we'll be slapping some teal, white, and purple on top of the background and doing some wet on wet blending. Again, you are more than welcome to switch out colors and make this your favorite color. Same with the raven. Pretty much any of my paintings, you're welcome to change out colors. Now, if you are one of my first time painters, please take a deep breath, relax. Do not go as fast as the video. Pause it as much as you need to, and then feel free to jump on my other websites and check out the full version with narration. So here you can see we're going to slap some of that teal in there or some of that white, and then we move our brush on top of it. Now you do need to do this while the background is wet. That is why it is called wet on wet blending. And move your brush while that paint is wet and play with the pressure. This is actually kind of a really fun thing to do in your backgrounds. Most of my students think this is one of the favorite parts of getting started painting. And do everything that you want to your background, and then pause the video, take your progress photo. And just a side note, you are welcome to pause the video as much as you want. Do not have to wait for me to prompt you to pause the video. Go at your own pace. So here we're using that medium flat brush or the large flat brush. We're making a light purple, and we're going to be holding the brush sideways. I'm kind of moving it in the direction that the feathers would be growing. And you are more than welcome to just pause the video, observe the place and the shape that I make with each of these colors, and then to the best of your ability, mimic what you see. That is really a big part in the art world, is just observing something and then doing your version of it. So now we're moving in with a darker purple. Same thing though, holding the brush sideways and moving these dash marks in the direction that the feathers are growing. Again, pause the video, observe what you see, and apply it to yours. If you are holding your breath, remember to exhale, breathe. If your brush is kind of shaky, that does mean you're holding your breath. So exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, and that will help your process. These are merely a suggestion. If you are inclined to do something different than what I do in the video, by all means, trust your instincts and do that. This is just painting and a great place to learn to trust your instincts more. All right, you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. We're going to be moving into a purple and red, and that kind of warms it up nicely. Your call how much red you add to your purple, and we'll be filling in the remaining space of the canvas that is available. All right, doing great. And then we're going to clean that brush, and we will be putting the eye color in for our raven. That's going to be burnt sienna. And we'll be using this small pointy brush for that. I will go right over that pupil and that catch light. We will reapply it in the next step. Now pause the video, take your progress photo. I did let this fully dry before I moved on to this step. So let your painting dry before you move into the black. Now we're using that small pointy brush. We're going to put the pupil on there. We're going to outline the eye socket. And then using small little tiny dash marks, we're going to intensify the shadows on this raven. Again, pause the video as much as you need to. Observe where I'm placing these marks, and these are little dash marks. Again, just kind of moving in the direction that the feathers would be growing. If you are finding that your brush is shaky as you go to do this, that does mean you're holding your breath. So again, exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, and notice that every couple of brush strokes, I am going back and grabbing more paint. So make sure you do that. You'll get into a nice groove, but if you don't keep grabbing paint, you won't actually be applying anything to the canvas. So every 2 or 3 brush strokes, grab more paint. Another thing to note is play with the pressure as you're working with this small brush. Light pressure creates smaller lines, a little more pressure creates a bit wider lines. And for my beginner and first time painters, if you have varying widths of line in your painting, totally okay. The more that you paint, the more comfortable you'll get with your brush pressure and your mark making. Again, if you are inclined to put some of these shadows somewhere I do not, go right ahead and do that. We're going to move over to white, put our catch light in and a few other highlights. Again, you're just observing where I place this, as well as trusting your instincts for other areas you might want to put this. All right, going to move back to that purple. Again, just going to make some of those shadows a little bit darker. And we're using that direct purple, still using that small pointy brush, and moving our brush in the direction in these dash marks that the feathers would be growing. And here you can see a little bit more that every couple of brush strokes I am grabbing more paint, applying my paint rather generously because I am using student grade paint and I want this a bit more opaque. And we will be throwing some kind of light teal in there just to kind of bring the background into the subject matter. That will be completely optional, as with some of the other steps. So if you don't want to do something that I do on the video, you do not have to do it. I think this, yep, we're going to move into white, a few more highlights. Going to do a few around the eyes. You will notice my final step at the end of the video, I'm going to tone down a few of those highlights. And that's part of the painting process. Sometimes you add something and then go, oh, too much, too little, and you have to go back and adjust. So here we're using that medium teal. These are kind of some accent colors. Again, completely optional. You don't have to add them, or you can add them in a different color. You could use yellow or really light purple or a light pink. Feel free to switch it up and make it unique to you. All right, then going back with some white, just intensifying a few of those highlights. Again, you can switch those colors, a light teal, a light purple, a light red. Now we're going back to the red and the purple. Again, I really like the second layer on there. It gives that more opaque coverage. And I kind of like these small little marks because it gives it a slight impressionistic and even kind of sloppy feel, very painterly feel to this. All right, I'm really proud of you guys for checking this out and painting at home. If you want the longer, full narrated version, again, check out the website, paintwithlovejoy.com, or my Patreon page. We've got one more thing that we're going to do. I'm going to go back and grab that black and just tone down some of the highlights around the eyes. And again, if you need to adjust anything and do different than what I do in the video, trust your instincts and do that. Thank you guys so much for painting with me today. Please don't wait too long to do your next painting. And until then, cheers.